Today on Drawbli.
I am drawing local millionaires.
Wow. Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our process of learning to draw, which is, of course, better with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here and share your artwork on Instagram with #Drawbli.
And, of course, check out our new guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link down below in the description.
Yeah. So, Ben, I set out to draw on this particular fine day. We were at Starbucks.
Millionaires.
Yes.
Wow, look at him. He's in the newspaper. He's got to be a millionaire.
There was the newspaper at Starbucks, which I was so delighted when you looked at me, rifling through the newspaper, and you said, "What are you, a 1980s businessman?" with the newspaper, which is such a funny thing to me. Like, you just imagining that only 1980s businessmen.
This is the only era of people reading newspapers. You had to be a businessman in the 1980s.
In the 1980s, because it's how you got your news. And only the businessmen would read the newspaper because they were on it. They were sharp and cutting edge. Anyway, I flipped to the sports section, not because I know anything about sports, I don't, but because it had the only higher resolution, larger photos to draw from.
But I did find one myself as well.
You did. It was a very small, low resolution photo of a bird that I previously considered and did not draw. This young man is Hunter Green.
No way. The Hunter Green?
He is a pitcher, and he is making $1,333,333 per year this year.
That's a weirdly specific number with a lot of threes.
I did some research. Over the next 6 years, he's contracted to make $53 million. So yes, I'm drawing our local millionaires.
I wish I was making $1 million a year.
Yeah, me too. And he's in his early 20s. Isn't that nice?
What a douche.
No, he's injured.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
He has hip soreness.
Millionaires are cool, actually.
His hips are pained, so he is on the injured list right now.
And he's still making the money, huh?
I would assume that's what a contract is for. I don't know if it's written into his contract, like, hey, once you stop getting out here and throwing the ball, then we're gonna be upset. So
why didn't I practice throwing balls more?
I don't know. So he was in the newspaper instead of other Reds players because he's done a really good job throwing the ball lately. He's gotten some good strikeouts.
Some good ball throwing from this guy.
Good ball throwing. Yeah, he's done the strikes a couple times.
Yeah?
Don't look at my notes.
Oh,
You're trying to peek at my notes.
Oh, gosh, okay,
this is
my
secret
bad.
information.
I just wanted to comment real quick and say I really like what you did with the background. Blurring it out, super cool. Very interesting.
Thank
and
you.
the texture brush that you were using on the clothing was also really interesting.
Oh, let me tell you about that.
Yeah.
So I just downloaded these new brushes from TrueGritSupply.com.
Oh, I love TrueGritSupply.com.
You've never heard of it.
This video is sponsored by TrueGritSupply.com.
Well,
Not
in
actually.
reality, where I heard about them was I was at work and I went upstairs. It was Juneteenth at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I went upstairs because we had a food truck with barbecue.
Which is June 19th, right?
Yes.
It doesn't matter.
Either that or yeah. And I went upstairs to the food truck, and also the hospital was doing a little art gallery of a local artist.
Oh, that's right. You told me about this.
Yeah, and her name was Natalia Babbitt. And I was one of the first people up when everything started, so there wasn't really any line. So I got to talk to her for some time. She is a graduate of the Cincinnati Academy of Art, or is it the Art Academy of Cincinnati? I don't know.
It's always fun to talk to other artists.
She was so nice. Natalia Babbitt. I might even actually just throw her name down in the description so you can see how to spell it if you want to see her work on Instagram.
Heck yeah.
Because she was so kind, and she was showing big acrylic paintings there that day, and the hospital actually bought one that they're going to display.
Very cool.
But she also...
When you say big acrylic paintings, what are we talking here?
Like 4 feet.
Oh.
The big ones.
Yeah, that's pretty large.
And she had her iPad with her too to show her other portfolio stuff. And so I said, "Oh, what else do you do?" And she said she does illustration.
Oh, so does she also use Procreate?
She does.
Nice.
And I was so excited to get to talk to her because illustration is something I would love to be able to do. To take a storied moment. And
ooh, I have an artist to show you soon that does this very well.
Cool.
That you're gonna like.
So I asked Natalia after she showed me her illustrative work. I said, "Oh, these cool. What are these brushes?" And she told me about True Grit Supply. So I went and downloaded their free Procreate brushes, which have a lot of like very textured brushes to use. And I also asked her what were her best tips for somebody who wants to learn to do illustrations.
Oh, and real quick, we're already moving on to the next painting.
That's Will Benson. He is
Will Benson,
doing really good
of
right now
course.
with hitting the ball. He's not throwing the ball.
This guy doesn't throw the ball,
But
no?
he's hit some home runs lately, and people are pretty pleased with him.
Why didn't I practice hitting balls more?
Well, don't get excited yet. Will Benson is only making $700,000 this year. And he's only contracted for 1 year.
Wow, this guy's pretty much poor.
Yeah, he's pretty much poor. Anyway, Natalia Babbitt said that...
Get into art, they said. You'll make money, they said. Wait, no one ever said that.
Get into baseball.
Why didn't anyone tell me?
Oh my gosh. So what Natalia Babbitt said, she said that for learning illustration, she recommended drawing things that you're nostalgic about and that really like bring on your nostalgia, and that's a great like
I have to draw more
loving
Pokemon.
place to draw. Honestly, yes, you do. I am nostalgic for absolutely nothing, so I will never draw.
Abby, you are nostalgic for a million
I'm nostalgic
things.
for a million things, yes.
I could sit here and name them for the rest of the Drawbli episode.
You probably could. Name one.
Wallace and Gromit.
Aw, yeah, name another.
What, you said name? Okay, how many do I have to name?
3.
3?
That's one so far.
Okay, let's see. Did you... what's the other claymation show? Mainly I'm thinking of claymation shows. The Pirate Claymation Show, was that something?
That was a claymation I made with my dad, or my dad made with
well,
my
you're probably
childhood
nostalgic
assistants.
for that.
Yes.
Wallace and Gromit was the first thing that came to mind.
Can you name one more thing?
Probably. I'd have to sit here and think
Your
about it
house that I met you, when I met you,
Oh,
you
this
were
is
living
very
in that
true.
house
You are
in
very
Independence,
nostalgic for
Kentucky.
that house.
Yeah, I am, because that's where we first got to know each other and hung out a lot.
You're very nostalgic, I know, for Nintendogs.
Oh, yeah, I am. See, this is easy. Let me tell you a little bit more about Will Benson here. So, like I said, he's hit some home runs. People are happy. They've interviewed him. Also, they took this fun photo of him, I guess, randomly at a game.
Which is your aliens.
Yeah, he does look like he's saying aliens. And he had a cool quote in his interview that I thought was applicable to Drawbli and our viewers. So I want you to hear this quote from him.
I'm not gonna listen. I just don't care. He's a millionaire.
He was asked like, what's, how do you do so well out there? And he said it's about being comfortable and trusting what I have and really being diligent in my work. So I think the 2 parts of that, being comfortable and trusting what I have, that's great if you're somebody who's like terrified of a blank canvas and don't know where to start. Just, trust what you have. You've gone from blank canvas to non-blank canvas before.
I've been playing with that a little more with my sketches. I like it. All right.
And then being really diligent with your work.
But if this guy made like $300,000 more a year, I wouldn't like this quote.
Yeah, I guess he's not a local millionaire then. But you know what? His net worth is $5 million. I did see that. So.
That's how much he makes a year, Abby. This guy's definitely a millionaire.
Well, yeah. But I don't know. I don't think he's been I don't know how long he's been a Major League Baseball player. But he's also in his early 20s. He's 25, maybe? He's either 23 or 25.
Well, once you turn 26, you're no longer good at the ball game.
I think
They kick you out.
I don't think you know anything.
I don't know anything about baseball. I know that you hit the ball, and if you hit it real far, you get a point, maybe 2.
Yeah, probably. I enjoyed making this little study after the first one, because the first one I did, I sketched and I made sure I had my framework correct. Mm-hmm. This one I just put the paint directly onto the canvas, which we all know is called...
Alla prima.
Thank you.
Which is how you always say it.
Dang it. I was hoping you'd just say it right and I could just be like, yes.
Well, it is alla prima, but when you say it, you say 1, allo primo, and 2, you say allo primo, like you're some kind of caricature of an Italian, which
is horribly offensive, and I shouldn't do that.
Which isn't even, I don't even know if that's correct. Anyway,
So I did that, and each one took me about 1 hour, which is not to say that they were finished after 1 hour, but after 1 hour, I was finished with them, if that makes sense,
It
which I'm
does,
sure
yeah.
it does. So I love their rough nature. I love kind of like their
Me too.
sketchiness.
I love how you played around with a bunch of different texture brushes and just didn't try to redraw and clean up things a million times. Often, I mean, that's something you used to do, and I saw you do it a little bit in the last one with the face, but here you're using the warp tool and like, you're cured. You're fixed.
I no longer redraw things a million times, except wait, or do I? Maybe these highlights need to be redrawn a handful of times.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And that looks awesome.
Thank
They
you.
both turned out really cool.
Thank you so much.
Am I gonna get to see the picture again?
Yes, you are. If you just
good.
hang in here for a couple more. Oh, there he
Oh,
is.
wow.
With the crowd behind him.
And if you want to hang in here just a little longer, click that like and subscribe button. And check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day. It's a link down below.
Share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
a Goomba.
We always sound like it's our first time talking into a microphone.
Yeah, one day we'll figure it out. Maybe.